you ever see something so true that you couldn't unsee it? Something that you just knew would serve you. Whether it be self-awareness, plant medicine, a lover, a career. That's what we get down to here. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners, the gateway drug to mindfulness. Spark up or don't, and enjoy the show. Glad you're here.
And welcome back to another episode of Disciplined Stoners.
I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie, and we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And today,
whoa.
we were in Florida last week.
Whoa.
It was so good.
We did some stuff.
Yeah.
We did some stuff. We wanted to get this episode in with just us. What's up, guys? Welcome back. We've had a bunch of guests, and we wanted to get this while it was fresh in our experience.
We had such a great trip, and we're just selfishly wanting to talk about it, so you get to listen.
Yeah, because every time we feel like we're on a live stream of Blunts and Beans, and we're talking about Can Expo and Camp Can, all these cool things, and they're like, tell us about you. We've been watching vicariously on your stories, and we just talk about ourselves for a half an hour when there's another human being there. So we figured this is the space to upload our experiences. But first off, Winnie, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to get into shit?
I mean, if you want. I mean, contextually, I think you're having an emotional fluctuation today.
Yeah.
Easily, we can just put it at that.
Yeah.
And
it's a combination of being mindful of how I'm feeling and being curious about why I'm feeling these things, and definitely fluctuated, had lots of emotions. I've been up since 5, had lots of emotions since then. It's 10:30.
And that's also something that Winnie does when she gets back from a trip. I feel like you, in your mental narrative, you owe so much of yourself to the communities that you're a part of that I think you often dive back into soon. There was progress this trip. I think the word lately has been progress. But you started teaching yoga immediately the morning we got back,
mm-hmm.
and you've been getting up early pretty much every day since.
Mm-hmm.
And doing that and getting back in the swing of things. And I definitely hit the ground running as well. But I'm just saying maybe sometimes those emotional swings come from the lenses that we see life through, and when you're fatigued, the lens that you see life through is probably more dramatic than not.
Yeah, I'm definitely not smart in the way that you think of time.
Yeah.
I think I can get things done.
Of
so
self.
I also have in my entrepreneurship now, I also have four sort of pillars of work that I'm doing. Acting, comedy, yoga, meditation, stuff like that, and Disciplined Stoners. And I love them all, and I don't want to give any of them less attention than what I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And in that pursuit, I think that, sometimes I push myself too far physically. Yeah. So I can understand that maybe I'm lacking a little bit of sleep right now, and that my emotional turmoil is perhaps helping me get through the day via some adrenaline.
Ah, exactly. Yes.
Give me a little drama to wake up and be present for the things that I have to do, but I'm not really present. That's the problem, is that I taught a yoga class this morning, 7 to 8, and it's awesome because I get to take the class as well. So it's really only benefiting me, but I was on autopilot for sure because of the fluctuating thought pattern and emotions that were going on for me during that. So I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. I think though that I came home and I was just really honest. There was
Appreciate that.
There was a version of what happened that was like accusatory towards you and like definitely not fair towards you, but there was like, and that's, I had mentioned to Ellevan when I got home that I think some old programming is coming up. And that's when the accusatory behavior would probably happen. So we got past that. So yay.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Progress. Like there's major progress being made. So I appreciate your bravery to share that right now without going into everything, and just common human feelings, and it's really nothing too,
and also like we want to do this podcast, we want to get it done, and there's
you got to do it, there's no excuse, like this is the time to do it.
This is the time to do it.
So anyway, so that's kind of the reference point of like we're coming back, and I just wanted that to stand as a pillar for like the after. In Scorsese movies you see like the present day and then he goes back and tells the beginning of the story. So Winnie is making tiptoe progress on being kinder to herself when she gets back from a trip, because as clean as you were the first day or whatever, it's like the next, like it compounds, right? So
well, ultimately you get a day at home after you take a trip.
Well, you must, like you have to, like you didn't give yourself even an hours, like it was like. You got in 4 a.m. I'm not breaking balls. I'm just saying.
I was supposed to teach the 8 a.m. and the 10 a.m. and I only taught the 10.
That's what I'm saying. Baby steps. You fucking. Okay. Anyway, love you so much. Proud of you. That's insane. And good job on managing your emotions and communicating today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
You're welcome.
that.
Appreciate that.
And good job to you for not maybe falling into perhaps old patterns on your end of being the accused. And trying to play defense on that, because that just feels like that never goes well either. Right.
Well, it helps when you're not doing anything bad. It helps to not feel wrong when you're not wrong. Oh shit.
And thanks also, you a little bit wanted to like fix at first
I
did. First came in.
Just because you love someone and you see them emotional.
I just want your love. And you were like, okay, just come cry on me for a second.
Jesus.
And I was like, thank you.
I have such a high vibration. I'm such burning flame that this deep ocean can like find. I make like a little fire palace, and her deep waters can just sit there for a minute. It's crazy. And then same vice versa. I can burn so hot that she can just exist. Cool. Big up. Respect. Let's get to the trip, because this was our first vacation. Everyone just kept echoing what we thought was that we fucking deserve it. We've never just gone somewhere outside of a gig. Like if you were in Hawaii, you were doing a film fest, right? They flew you out. Yeah. I was in Indonesia. I was working, buddy. I had to meet my band every city we got to, rehearse and perform that night. Like it's a glorious, fun way to do it.
Yeah, we're so lucky. Like I love traveling.
That's our main
for
life. Like I appreciate that. Like I love that. But like there's something to just going to somewhere because it's hot with your person that you do life with and be like,
well,
what do you want to eat? What do you want to smoke? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not having an agenda, which like is agendas are everything for me, because I'm a stoner and I'll forget things. Right. And I literally, I have. So I like my agenda is like it's mapped out in front of me. It's super digestible. I love it. I enjoy doing it.
She
the whole process
is thing. Like you got a professional
in my agenda. So it was the first time taking a trip, besides like trips with like our families and stuff. But that's
shout out your family.
It's even different then though. Like you're
because you're still working then.
Well, your behavior isn't fully free, I think.
Well, mine is, but yours isn't.
You're an insane person.
I'll just be walking up, like, we're in Mexico. Her family took us to Mexico. I ain't never been on vacation, not like that. Like, and, you know, the resorts or whatever. And they're taking me on vacation with them, and I just, like, disappear. And then, like, come walking back up the beach with me blazing weed. And they're just like, and, like, it just looks at me like, where did you get that? And I'm just like, down the beach. It's just like, what's up, guys? And then like they're always pleasantly surprised that society in general accepts me more than they do. Like Winnie loves
We're
that
all
too.
rule followers. I come from a family
Yeah,
of rule followers.
and like Winnie will be like, I am so ashamed I don't know this guy, and then like someone will walk by and high five me, and then she'll be like, oh, it's okay.
Okay, don't say
It's
it
so
like
good.
that. Like
Well,
I
I'm
don't
just
say like
saying.
I'm so ashamed I don't know this guy.
No,
I've
you
never
you
said
physically
that.
walked away from me. Like as I was blazing a joint in line or something, and there were like
Yeah.
old white people around, the ones that were just taught. You're taught in this society in this time, old white people. Oh, yeah, you know.
Just
And I'm
because
like,
you weren't
"Fuck you,
raised
Sandra."
that way, don't like
But yo, Sandra needs a
attack it.
puff, son. Pop, yo, come here, old white lady. Hit this. You need to relax before you go in this theater play.
You don't know that. You don't know what she needs.
Yo, here's the thing. I was at the yoga studio one time, pre-COVIDian, and remember that little sweet old lady? She was like, I was talking shit in the lobby, and I was like, yeah, I'm on shrooms right now. And then some people were like, I do shrooms sometimes. And like the millennials, like 30-year-olds. And this cool old lady who, she had short hair. I seen her beads. She's vibing. She's cool. And she walks in, and all these rule-following pussy-ass millennials stop talking. And then she walked, because this older lady walked in. Like, it was actually out of respect. It was quite kind, if you think about it. It's sweet. They want to make her uncomfortable. But I looked at her, and I'm like, we're talking about shrooms. She's like, I microdose every other day. And like, yo, son, you don't know who's going to be down with what.
That's true, but when people aren't down, you don't need to like
Push it in their
push
face.
it. Yeah.
But I've been pushed. Religion's been pushed in my face. I'm just saying.
Me too.
Anyway, moving on. So we
We
don't
don't
want to be
like
like
it.
that. Right. Okay. All right. So that was a nice little side note. I want to get into the trip. Please.
Thanks everyone for also, but I did feel a lot of people being like, "You guys deserve this" in our like closer communities and and the outskirts of
That
our
was really
communities
nice.
as well. And it did feel really good. It felt validating to get for people to be like, "I see you." And you'd go deserve this, and we did, and it was so fantastic. It was I've been at the yoga studio. People, how you been? You sun kissed, blah blah blah. How was the trip? And like there were definitely challenges.
Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the staying steady, remaining steady through the storm, and like what that takes and what our approach this time was and what happened and what fluctuated. And it's a dreamy, I knew it was going to be a dreamy vacay. We're now sitting on this side of a dreamy vacay.
It was dreamy.
It was so many movie moments happened. My spirit was exhilarated, and I embraced new things. I embraced familiar things, and I got everything I wanted. So let's start from the top. We packed Sunday. Last Sunday. Not last Sunday, but last Sunday.
Leaving at alarm going off at 3:30 a.m. Monday morning.
So
to catch our cab.
We're preparing. We're going
Yeah.
Sunday. We packed, not enough, by the way. But that's okay. We don't really know what to plan for too much. So we were just getting, and we were doing a lot. We're planning for Can Expo right now. I'm between a couple different deals. Like there's a lot on our plate. We're trying to give more attention to family than ever and prioritize that and, take care of stuff. Thanks. And so, but here we are, holding steady Sunday, and then we're supposed to get up early Monday. And then there's this little bit of anxiety because in effort just to like make this happen, we chose a place on the map, Hollywood, Florida. Not as expensive or as hype as Miami, still in the sun, still in the States. We were going to go to Cuba. We were going to go to Mexico. We were going to go to Portugal. We're going to try these different sunny options. We went with where we know because it didn't have that additional cognitive challenge of translation, expectation of the land, the laws, the cannabis access. So I knew that I had friends and people in Florida. So it took us time and waiting through a lot of anxiety and waiting like this, like not with a T, with a D, like holding steady and just going with the ebbs and flows to make the choice to even go here. Yeah. So when he finds some dope discount flights
to Fort Lauderdale.
And we were nervous about the airline because we saw the reviews. So we probably manifested something. So I'll let you take it from here. Monday morning, we wake up. Winnie's the one who does the scheduling and the checking. She's seeing the notifications go.
Our flight got delayed until noon. So we can go back to sleep. Not a big deal. We're not freaking out about it. We're like, oh, that's annoying. But we'll definitely get on the next one. They're just consolidating the planes. You know, it's no big deal. And we wake up at 8 is the next time we wake up. And delayed until 2 p.m. And then another message right after, canceled until tomorrow. So I'm waking up. Ellevan's just waking up. I'm like...
And I haven't meditated yet.
I haven't meditated yet. He thinks we're going today. And I'm like, they canceled our flight today.
And then all I think is this fucking... Like, you can't do the job. Like, this airline, you can't give what you've offered because of your own... Like, I was just frustrated. Like, you're taking away a day of sun because of you're not able. Like, that's so frustrating. Like, there's no way around how frustrating that is.
Yes. So... Ellevan freaks out. We get over it. It's no big deal. We come to acceptance.
But I freaked out, like, up to, like, 3 or 4. Like, I just, like, smacked the bed and, like, came in the living room and, like, screamed once.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was a freak out light.
It was totally a freak out light. You went up and then you calmed right back down.
Well, I was like...
You made that decision.
You're not going to change anything by acting like this.
Yeah. We thought about grabbing like a WestJet flight. We found a WestJet flight that was like $330 just direct there today at 6 p.m. But we wouldn't get there until 9 p.m. anyways.
Yeah.
It was like, we accept. Just stay. And then we had this beautiful walk along the water.
With Ralph.
I had to figure out a chaperone because Ellevan's mom had minor surgery and we needed someone to pick her up.
Shout out
I
Matt.
hadn't done that yet. So
yeah,
I was like, oh, I guess I'll do that in Florida. Like, no, you won't. You don't have any Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And so we went for a long walk along the water. It was sunny. You started doing business, like taking care of some Can Expo stuff, loose end stuff. And we just realized this whole day.
A photo shoot.
Yeah. Well, no, you did that on. That wasn't that day. That wasn't the Sunday before.
I started on that day, on the Monday when we were here. Because remember?
You did?
Yeah. I started on the Monday we were here.
I didn't know that. Anyway.
Sending videos and just thinking, how can I bring together the culture and the industry and make it look authentic? That's when that thought happened. It was a week before the photo shoot.
I was able to catch up on some yoga stuff. Like, it was such a great day, like buffer day to actually have between work and vacay.
We didn't know we needed it. We thought, hey, we'll get this stuff done on the run. No, you won't, because you're running on the run. Mm-hmm. And you can't do shit while you're running on the run.
So we had this magnificent day, and then
the airline gives us
a hotel right next to the airport for the night.
They say, we fucked up. We want to pay. We get you a suite that had a king bed
and $100 to their restaurant.
Vouchers, food vouchers. So hotel stay, like a local, like home away from home, stay somewhere in the city, get you ready to go on a flight tomorrow. So you're locked in. And yeah, we got Holiday Inn with the pool. We could choose from like 4 hotels.
Yeah, and we realized that like leaving at 3:30 a.m. in the morning may be a little bit shocking for our Ralphie boy.
Yeah, like what's going on? Like,
so this was way better. We left at 3:30 in the afternoon. We chill, like it was so chill. We went to the pool.
Just took enough weed because we knew like we were flying internationally that like we weren't going to take any. So we just rolled like 4 big joints, or like we took some weed. Shout out Primo. And some Timbit, shout out Primo, and she got it right in the shower, and I was in the bathroom. It was like nice white marble countertop, and I was just like rolling up like, I don't know, half an ounce of weed, kind of like as a bunch of like weed, like grinded it up, and it was exactly what we needed to get into that like honeymoon flow.
Yeah,
of
it was
things.
A total date night. It was easy. Like we got to sleep in, we got work accomplished that we needed to get done. Like it was non-negotiable kind of. Like it was so crazy that we weren't as like we both thought we were prepared, but when it came down to it, we absolutely weren't. So we got this buffer day plus a date night. In a hotel. That's just so fun.
And the restaurant's food was like so good.
Banging.
Like big portions, so good. Like we felt abundant. Like the first time we just like ordered whatever we want, and the vouchers took care of it all.
Yeah.
And then I just like peeled her off a crispy 20 for a tip. Like everything worked out. Then we went back down later and I got
we saved money
strips.
on the B&B. They gave us one night back too. So like we didn't lose any money.
Blessed. That was so big because that was my main thing. I'm like, this airline's costing me things. I got right on Airbnb. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Our flight got canceled for today. Can I please adjust my reservation? And then I saw that you can do it yourself and it's just up to the host to accept. And I did, and I ended up getting like, I think I got our Airbnb for like $100 a night, like USD.
Yeah.
So I got like 120 CAD back. So like that, it was a blessing. And like for the price of those flights, those food vouchers and the hotel stay value is more.
It's more.
Like
we up.
Just that already. And then I was just like, okay, what we said is like tomorrow. If they cancel the flight, when he was like, no, I know that they consolidated the flights because they just weren't full. And like, they're putting us on a flight tomorrow morning. I can feel it. And I didn't have that anxiety or hesitation in my head anymore because I was in this beautiful immersed experience, nice and high at this hotel with my boo. And we were just like, okay, we're probably going to get on tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. That works perfectly. We'll get to Florida like in the morning. Like, we'll just go with that thought. But we did decide if that gets extended, that we have received enough value already that we are willing to part with what we paid for those first flights and just buy a new flight, start fresh, like
a better airline.
Sense that buy flights on a better airline like today. But everything went according.
Everything worked out.
6:30, we were there. It was chill. This dope ass chill kid sat beside us who like also moved over like once we got going because there was other seats, so like it was all just cool, man. Like we got space, like everything just like worked out.
There was some lit people on the plane, which was really hilarious because our flight attendant would get on and be like, oh yeah, hey, people gathering in the back, the people and they didn't listen, and he was just like, so no gathering in the back there. So and also funny. I just want hot mention, I got a Canadian passport, folks. Yes! To my permanent resident friends, get that passy as soon as possible. I could not believe they didn't ask me where the address in which I was staying. They asked me nothing. They asked us, but I'm looking at it as me because it's my first experience with a Canadian passport to the States. He took my passport. He checked it. They took our picture. That's everyone does that. And then he was like, business or leisure, I think he said. And you were like, pleasure or leisure.
I was like, sun for 4 days.
And then he handed our passports back and said, have a good time. This has literally never happened to me ever with my Dutch passport. Like, I always, going to and from the States has not been a awesome experience. Learning experience, blah, 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 all that's good. But it was crazy. Like, it's still blowing my mind.
I know. I'm so glad you had that experience. But just give them a bit of context. When we went to LA when we were 20 just to go like check it out, and we got turned away. I mean, we ended up going for like and staying for 3 months. I did stand up.
I'm allowed to do that, and you're definitely allowed to do that. We weren't doing anything wrong.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like what we did. But when we were going the first time, they saw the posters in our car. We just weren't prepared.
Headshots,
we were 20. Our car was our office, and just like all this silliness that we were doing shows locally in Vancouver that said moving to like, and we left them all in the car. We didn't think that they were going to search us, so we got turned away once when we were 20. And we went home, had a chicken dinner with my mom, and went right back and got through the same night. And the guy was amazing. He actually offered us KFC because it smelled so good. And like they just got some. It was late at night. We had a great time. It was all good. But I think not only like that put a little thing on our, like what every time you cross, like it associated with you, just so they would ask you that extra layering. Like for the first 2 years after that, we'd both have to go to secondary no matter what. So as a Canadian boy, I got turned because she gets flagged because she's Dutch. But we were driving through and the guy's like, why are you going through? And when he's like, does it matter? And he's like, pull aside. like, so that's when we were 20, right? So
that's my socially awkward coming out.
So so even up until like when I first did Playlist, I remember going with like 3 months of mail or documents like for me. And that was just in case. And like they'd never pull me. They'd pull me aside into secondary the first couple of times, and I'd just have to, like, he'd look through my bag, and he'd be like, why are you bringing your camera? And I'd be like, I just like to take photos. It was to record shows. Like, the funny thing is they're right. But you just got to be like...
But they just need to chill the fuck out because it's fine.
Because it's fine, dude. And, like, trust me, dog, any artist going to try isn't getting paid yet. So chill out. Like,
yeah, like
we're there to spend money,
so many of
actually.
the Canadian greats that everyone knows it was like an illegal pass-through. Like, Pamela Anderson never had a fucking...
Michael J. Fox, like, all this. Like, it was just easier
Jim
back
Carrey,
then.
yeah, like, you just walk through, and the States is missing out on some awesome Canadian talent
just
because of how hard their
it's kind
screening
of
is.
scary. But then those of us who decide to I went anyway, man. I went and did the shows that I wasn't getting paid for, so I wasn't breaking any rules. And I was there with friends. So it was all authentic. It's just if you would have explained it that way, they still, in their job position, it's still,
you're not allowed.
It smells too much like leveraging from the value of what this country has to offer you, not you contributing a documented value to this country, which, by the way, art should totally be considered a fucking value that you can contribute, okay? If an engineer or someone in science, then what the fuck? What? Art? Put some respect on our fucking craft. Anyway, moving right along. We respect you. I'm just saying, it's weird that it doesn't go the other way. Like, think about it.
It's so weird.
Yeah, like CEOs prioritize a portion of your marketing budget for art. All of your marketing should be art.
Art takes time. And, like...
You need some data, too.
So much imagination.
And talent. And anyway, so we'll just go into this beautiful new scenario. I just wanted to wrap up this energy, guys. I just wanted to give them context of what our previous experience was. So I started, I think, about like 5 years ago when I was going to the States, or just like, basically I traveled for a decade after that, and it was a mention, a secondary, and then it started getting less and less. So I would say, and then I stopped getting called secondary like maybe 2-3 years out.
I never did.
Yeah.
It was on my Dutch passport forever.
Yeah, so for me, and I asked the guy too, I was like, my guy, not that I don't love seeing you. I was like, but at what point will this extra layer of consideration I'm receiving from you guys pass? And he liked the way I phrased that without being accusatory of them. And he was like, hey man, you got to think about it. When you mess around on your girl, she's just going to take time. I'm like, that's an interesting reference. And he was like a 34-year-old, like, handsome brown guy. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, if you mess around on your girl, you know, she may trust you again, but not right away. And I was like, fair enough. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, by doing that, basically what he says, like, by doing this is what's going to make it go away.
Yeah.
So if you never travel again, you just come through, high alert. He's like, but just keep coming. Don't fuck up. And just like, and keep coming. Like, you know, whenever you want to, whenever you need to. And then.
But there are rumors that for Canadians, it's a sort of a 7-year.
Yeah. And that's exactly when I think around 7 years, I stopped getting called to secondary.
Yeah.
And I think it was, and 7 years with like a probation, like 7 years. If you fuck up, you're...
Yeah.
But then 7 years, if you're good and you consistently come, we'll respect you again.
We stopped going through together.
That's the thing, we went step. Well, and literally just me going to the States every year alone, going to LA. And it's always easy because basically I was escaping the winter and staying with a friend. That's exactly the fucking truth as well. But, and then I remember there was a period where I was going to playlists in the later years where I'd go and the guys would just ask me, they'd say, what do you do? And I'd always just say marketing. Because as an artist, if you want to be a full-time artist, it's means marketing meets budget. That's how an artist gets paid. Either that or just cold, hard ticket sales.
And you had
fans.
A couple of like employment stubs from like
marketing companies.
Recent enough, yeah.
Yeah, like, and I'd always work for marketing companies. If I ever needed a quick influx before I learned to busk, I would just get a little marketing contract. And I highly suggest that for any up-and-coming entrepreneur, person finding their own freedom and setting their work schedule. Okay, so then I started to have fun with the guys, and then I realized they're gonna respond to the energy that kind of like guides them. So I actually started to internalize like I was a soldier. I watched a soldier walk through, and they had such a great camaraderie. So I'm like, I always line up my hair, shave my shit, wear a bit of a tighter thing, wear a watch, hold my bag like this, hold my chest up, make direct eye contact, be more available for them than they are me, and just hold steady, almost like a soldier. Like talk to them in their language, and the trust was just abundant. I was like, hello, yep. And just like, instead of feeling that, uncertainty, I was just like, hello, like, I'm going to tell you what you need to know, and you're going to be cool with that. Because I'm giving you zero reason to be anything but, like, delighted that I'm here. Like, yeah, like, I'm going to make this so easy for you. I started to think about it from their perspective. Like, what's this entitlement that we feel? That can fuck up your whole shit, dog. Don't be entitled. Be willing to participate. Anyway, so this time, and the past like 3-4 times I went through, it was basically the same thing. Like I went to put my bag down, and they were like, "You're good." Oh, thanks. And then now at this point, they're just like, "This cat just comes spends money at our place for."
They just
weeks or
they
months
just
on
say
end.
thank you so much. Have a great trip. It was lovely. So the whole first day where we were supposed to be in Hollywood, Florida, worked out so well for us. And I also just want to mention that it was only plus 11, and oh shit, it was only plus 11. And rainy on the Monday. So we didn't miss shit in Hollywood. We actually got lucky because we wouldn't have been able to get into our Airbnb until 3. So we would have had to sit inside until it all worked out really, really well.
It all worked out perfectly. So we got a couple minutes before you got to run. Can we do that?
No.
You got to leave?
Yeah, I got to go.
Okay. Wow, we didn't even get into the trip. All right, so should we pause and then keep going when you get back?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, love you guys. See you in a minute.
See you in a bit.
Whoa, that is a match made in heaven. Hello. Nice. Here we are.
We're back.
Okay, so what did you do?
I went and taught a yoga class, and it was fantastic. And it's nice being a little bit high. I was fucking around with them, and I was like, there's 4 new students, and I was like, this, I feel like I'm a little bit like out of character for what how I normally teach. And then my regular John was like, nah, this is pretty spot on in class. And I was like, that's fair.
That's amazing.
And everyone loved it. And there were 4 new people. I checked in with them, and then 2 of them were like, I felt very welcomed. And so just like, thanks so much for that. And it was just nice. You like, remember I started this day feeling insecure. We talked it out on the podcast. We had such a great first half of the podcast.
Yeah.
I left feeling so secure. And when I got to the studio, I was like, thank you for like treading lightly with me this morning and like dealing with me carefully. And I just felt like a billion times better than my first class. And it showed. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how when you feel good, you see good, and when you feel bad, you see bad.
Totally. And then I realized halfway through the day, it's Valentine's Day.
I know.
Because neither of us really care about that kind of commercialization of it.
Yeah, someone came in, they're like, and I was like, oh, fuck, I have no love songs on my playlist.
But it's like, also, we don't abide by those, like, structures. But then what happened today was good communication, compassion, caring, sensitivity. That was lovey as fuck.
It was.
Like, don't drain your adrenals trying to overspend on dinners that you don't usually go to on a day when everyone says you should. What the fuck? Do
whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. I'm just saying,
if you want to celebrate your love on Valentine's Day and you want to get all dressed up and go out and support a local restaurant or support Hallmark, I don't give a shit. Do what you want.
I'm not beefing. You're absolutely right.
But you're right, though. You and I don't do that, and that's cool, too.
What I'm saying, it sounds like you want to?
No, remember that one year, though? That I was like, because we've been together for so long and we've never celebrated Valentine's Day. And then just one year I was just like, I just wish that you would have done something. Do you remember that year?
Yeah.
And you were like, how was I supposed to know that? I told Lindsay that story today.
Yeah.
Or Leanna.
You're a guessing game.
Oh my God, I'm a fucking
Like
nutcase. That's why I'm
so
hesitant on children, honestly, on having a kid, because I'm like, I am a fucking, and that's why it's taken so long to have a kid, because I'm insane. I'm an insane person.
She's gonna have to grow up here now.
I think I am. I'm
I know.
really starting to.
Well, you're taking
Just a
precedent.
late bloomer.
Yeah, it's okay. It's beautiful. We've had a nice ride. I'm putting some Maui Wowie in this.
I'm also a baby child.
Yeah.
And you're a single child, and both of those archetypes have some issues.
But tremendous qualities as well. Anyway, so congrats on your day.
Thanks, you too.
I worked on 3 songs. I finished I'm pretty sure I actually finished all of them.
Congrats.
Yeah. And I moved some things. I moved some energy. Like there's a lot of like taking calls or sending messages and stuff like that. Like I move like that throughout my day as I'm doing creative productions. And I made us an asset to promote us at Cannes Expo. Yo, we're going to be at Cannes Expo.
It's going to be really fun.
March 22nd weekend. Because people are asking, especially since we're in Florida, people are like, when's your next show? When's your next show? I'm like, well, technically, it's all weekend long at the Enercare Center on March 22nd.
That's what I told someone that yesterday. And also, hey, we talked about how I like kind of hit the ground running with things. I'm taking the whole week off from everything else. I am just focusing on Cannes Expo that week.
Big.
And I'm so ready to be fried by Monday morning. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm the life of the party. I'm fucking gonna go. I'm ready to rock.
Great.
22nd to 24th. You should come.
After parties.
After parties.
This is going to be dope.
All day Cannes Expo. I'm teaching a couple yoga classes. I'm going to teach a yoga class that's not like cardiovascularly orientated. It'll be more deep stretching and more meditative, which will be really interesting because there's going to be noise and stuff around. So, but I'm going to have like music accompanying the yoga class. But I'm just so excited to like take all the things, like do comedy too, be on stage with you.
Stefan Future Magic Edwards is going to join us. He's been on the show.
The after parties are, Cody Van Gogh is lit on this after party.
He got a bunch of people and it's sponsored by Raw. It's proper.
It's so proper.
It's OPP.
We got tattoos on the floor.
We're going to get
folks.
Tattoos at Cannes Expo.
It's
Fuck
going to
us,
actually
yo.
be
Fuck with
epic
us.
in comparison to like the shows so far. I think it's going to be pretty legendary.
Primo and Trees are going to be there. The Drip's going to be there.
So many people. The floor is really starting to like you have time now. Like if you're a brand watching this, you still have time to get in on this, and you should. You should figure out a way. You should message us or message Kathy. I don't care how you get there, but
once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, it's gonna be super
truly
fun.
Special. Only the second year of this. We're rocking the stage. I'm gonna do freestyles of intros and stuff when we present the awards. Future Magic is gonna be DJing like.
Camp Canna's there with games to keep you entertained, or
basically you go check out the floor. The bud tender sampling is also all on the floor, so there's no separation, which is
goodness.
So there's no separation, so everyone can vibe out together.
Yeah,
you need your cancel to get the samples, but like get your cancel if you love samples so much. Super easy and simple.
Yeah.
But and for the record, we have been special guests of these shows like the Karma Cup or all these events and stuff, but we have our cancel. What is that? Oh, she's going after cheese. We have our cancel. We got it when he was at 1922.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like base information. It's like a smart serve almost. Oh, watch out for that. Nice. But yeah, so that's going to be really exciting. Cannes Expo 2024, right? That's what this year is. Yep, love that.
It's like 5 weeks away.
It's like 5 weeks away. But yeah, holler at us if you're curious about that. Tickets are on sale now. But let's get back to our Florida trip, yo.
Yes.
We walked them. We showed you guys all like the context of what it took to get to this point and all the, managing the ebbs and flows. So we get our plane 6:30. We get to the airport. We get there early. We get our Starbucks. We get the stuff we need.
Good.
We know that Flair ain't gonna have shit on the plane. So
They did though. You could purchase things, which I didn't know that they would even.
at least
do
it's
that.
an option. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's on a cargo plane at least. So we get to Florida. We touch down. Boom! It's like 10 a.m. on Tuesday.
It's warm.
It's
It's
warm.
like 18 degrees or something.
It's not blasting sunshine, but it's warm.
It's warm, and we make it.
And
So-
we grab an Uber, and we know that we are checking for our Airbnbs. Like, it said 4, she said 3, and I was like, all right, maybe I can push it to 2, but it's still like 10 a.m. or something, or like 11 a.m.
Yeah, we get in early.
Yeah, and then so I pull up Uber, and I just go like city center, basically, like Hollywood Beach, like, because like that's where we're, Hollywood, Florida. So I was like, Hollywood Beach, drop me off where the pin says the boardwalk of Hollywood Beach Center is. And we did that. We had our suitcase with us, and we just started walking. And then I was like, okay, first stop, weed, because Fabe was supposed to pick us up at the airport, but that was the day before, and that got canceled, and he had to work the next day or something like that, and he couldn't make it. So we just Ubered right in. I was like, all right, let's find some weed, find some food, and just start vibing on the beach, even though we got our bags. So we start going into these little stores, and they're hinting at weed type stuff.
Well, the signs will say like CBD or even
Or 420.
THCA or 420. Yeah.
Or just like some sort of weed-esque thing. So you know what's friendly, it's in the atmosphere. And then so I go into this one store, and I was like, all right, what do you have in terms of flower? And then she's just showing me these like Delta 9 edibles, which I was really curious. I put it on the story. Some members of the community love it. One person was like, it changed my life. We didn't know what it was, though. We weren't researched enough on it. But THCA, I guess, is the loophole. It's derivative of hemp, which is a cousin of cannabis. It's the same plant, I guess, or something. It's derivative of hemp. And they overpack the crystals, or they make
It's hard to say what they do.
They make it vibey. It's hard to say what they do. It could also just them saying it's THCA and it's just normal weed from Colorado, which I think we found a spot which was operating in the gray area.
Yeah.
Because it was some bomb-ass Tropicana cookies we copped.
Yeah.
And some runts. $50 eights. USD.
American.
USD. But it was banging, though. And we got these, like, pre-rolls that had, like, distillate on them. And so we grabbed that, and then there was this girl like trying to flag it, like it's like a tourist kind of boardwalk, and you know they stand out there with like, come eat here, and the literal place is called Why Not. So we're like, why not? And then I had this pre-roll, and Winnie's all like, yo, like shy, like we just got weed, she's not sure, we're in the States, and then I'm like, can we smoke? And she's like, come sit, and I'm like, smoke here, it's okay. And then she's like, and she like walks away. She tells us to sit down. She brings me an ashtray.
Yeah. With a little
Smoke
wet
my
napkin
joint.
in there for the wind.
Come on, son. Smoke my joint right there on the boardwalk. We got the lobster eggs, Benny.
So because
Hello.
it's legal
Cappuccini.
medically and it's decriminalized, which I did not know there. Weed's decriminalized in Florida, which I thought that's interesting to me. They're still in the fun of the gray area.
Right.
So you can smoke on patios and shit there, which like totally blew my mind. But it's not legal. It's not illegal. It's just is what it is.
And you know what?
You're smelling weed on the boardwalk.
time.
Like people are definitely smoking.
Yeah, and like I love that about Florida. They're like, just do your thing. Like we're not gonna bug you.
But there was one moment on the last day before we left for our plane where I was like, cops came really quickly on the beach. And I was like, put that out. But I don't even think they'd fuck with you.
No.
No, but I was just, you guys know me. At this point, you know me. I get uncomfortable when I'm doing illegal or semi-illegal things.
Shit that no one cares about.
But it was cool. It was cool to smoke on the patio. And the food that first day was
magical.
Lobster.
I tossed a reel up on Instagram. So funny, you can see this lady clock. She thought I was talking to her or something like that. I was like, is that Winnie in a parallel universe? There's like this blonde lady in a hat, and she like stops and looks.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, Win, where are we right now?
Hollywood Beach, baby.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hollywood Beach, baby. Yeah.
That's that. Diamonds. Diamond infused joint right on the beach. First stop, holler at your boy. Let's get this lobster eggs Benedict.
Frankie commented it on everything. Do you have your phone?
No.
You could.
I
But
could.
regardless, anyway,
Okay.
you'll see it.
So
But
we got in. We found this magical weed spot.
Cappuccino.
Got weed. Got him high. Beautiful cappuccino. They have a huge Cuban community that lives there. So
Beautiful
Cuban
people.
coffee, espresso.
Wow.
And so it was just delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And we spent a couple hours there, and then we walked a little further, and then we were like, let's walk to our Airbnb with our 50-pound suitcase.
Your boy needs some working out, so we just go, I love our suitcase wheels so much.
Oh, gosh.
Because we walk, so the Airbnb said 10 minutes from the beach. When he's like, that's a 10-minute drive, I'm like, could be a 10-minute walk. And then we get there, and then we like Google Maps it, and it's like, yeah, it's like a 14-minute drive and like an hour and 10-minute walk. And I'm like, we're here to be outside. What do you think?
For sure.
She's like, let's fucking do it, bro.
We love walking,
We
too.
got weed, we got vibes, we got sunshine, and we just took a nice walk through this Florida neighborhood we'd never been before.
And it was beautiful, and we walked all the way, and we were definitely sweating. It was a little bit like with the suitcase, it was a little bit like, okay, I'm ready to be in my Airbnb.
And I like lifted it over my head a couple times.
Yeah.
Like for like a block at a time, like I went straight adrenaline mode.
And so we get to our Airbnb, and our host is just adding a couple of last things. It's like just 2:00. But she's cool. She's not like anything. It's so cute.
She's Latin. She's so sweet.
Yeah, and she left us like a bottle of wine and like
Chips.
really great chips. Yeah, and so we get into our Airbnb and we're like, dope. We're here. Let's freshen up, you know. And then we decide after a 3:30 a.m. Wake up, a flight, tons of physical activity.
Carrying suitcases over the head, the awe of being in a new place, all that.
We decide that it's a good idea that we walk back down to
Back.
the boardwalk.
The hour and a half walk to the beach.
And we didn't have a grinder. So Ellevan brought weed, but it was like really windy when we got back down to the boardwalk.
bust it
And we
off
were
my
so hungry and we didn't know where we were. And
We walked
I
back to the
smashed my knee
Oh my
on
God.
like a metal thing. Like we were too tired to, we should have stayed at the B&B. But we thought we were going to go back and eat somewhere else, right? I think that's what we were
I
looking
thought that the boardwalk extended both ways. So where we stayed, there was two roads to get like to the shore, to the beach. One way, it was close to the boardwalk. The other way, it was just beach where only rich people stay in the hotels and they don't want peasants hanging out near their area. So we walked into that industrious feeling Miami-ish area of like hotels, basically. It's just like hotels and road. And it's like, oh, so we called it quits after trying for a short period of time, and it was too cold.
like hours.
a period of time.
Like 3 hours. By the time
Yeah.
we left, got back down, tried to roll this joint. It was near a playground.
And
I
then
was
we
like,
started
let's not do
beefing.
this near kids.
She was like that. I wasn't like that.
No, you were
They
like,
don't care.
relax. And
They don't fucking
And then I
care.
smashed my knee.
Because the universe is like, bitch, relax.
Yeah.
Sit down.
So that all great. Then we had a little bit of that turbulence, and we were like, fuck this.
We said,
let's go
"Fuck
back to
this."
the B&B and order Uber Eats.
And we ordered from the fucking, shout out, Dickie's Barbecue in Hollywood, Florida. Fucking amazing. We ordered it. It was just what
Brisket.
we needed. The treat was incredible.
Loaded potato, beans.
The prices were fair. Like, you could have charged more for that brisket.
For sure.
But, like, really, really, like, I think, was it a pound for, like, $24 or $25?
Yeah. Oh, and I got my period.
And
So
she was
I'm-
just crying.
I'm in the
And
shower.
her shower sucked.
Our shower was
The
not
one
good.
thing about this Airbnb, it was pretty dreamy. It was a king size bed. It was chill. It was
Bed
in this
was
nice little
comfortable, too.
area, so you weren't in touristy. It was nice, but the shower was no bueno.
No, yeah. So I'm sitting there in the shower that's turning way too hot for your skin, then way too cold, and I smashed my knee, and we were kind of at one another. And I just start crying. I'm like, I didn't expect to get my period today, and I'm tired, and we should just go home. And then I had a little cry, and we got cozy into bed, and that food came. And, like, it was just the most fantastic end to our, like, travel journey to Hollywood, Florida.
And, like, you know what else? Another sort of fatigue that we had that I didn't realize until now, because I'm on, like, the positive side of it, after having just got sun for a week, is when you're in a place like Toronto where you're a Caucasian person and your skin is like pasty, and then when I popped the top, dog, as soon as I got there. So I'm like, my skin, the biggest organ on my body, is like getting a workout of its own by the sun beaming on it for the first time in a strong way.
It's cooking.
And like, but like right out the gentle gate, though, you know, like when you've been just wearing 4 layers for a month or two, and like you're just kind of pasty, and you're just like, oh. And so there was that. I also had like it's an extra exhaustion.
Sun tired
like
is the best tired.
And it's like a little bit of a perma headache if you get too much of it and you're kind of dehydrated. So if you traveled and did it in the same day. So we were very like that, and then we just rocked that barbecue, and we just stretched out on that big ass king bed.
What movie did we watch? It was with Martin Lawrence, wasn't it?
We put on something called What's the Worst That Can Happen? And I used to watch it. Danny DeVito's in it. My mom used to have it on when I got home from school all the time. Like, we used to watch it on VHS, like, all the time. It was our background movie. Martin Lawrence is big in our place.
I'd never seen it, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it's so good.
So that was day 1 of Florida.
Yeah, and then we
totally
woke up
magical.
the next day. Like, we had weed.
We slept for because by the time when we went to bed, because we had such a full day, it was only
11,
not
10,
even,
10.
maybe not even 9. Like, I think we slept for like a solid 12 hours.
Good, we deserved
Naturally
it.
woke up at 9 the next day. It was nice. You open the door and it's sunny. Oh, it feels so good. I love outside.
And that's the magic right there. Like, I knew that the true magic is when you wake up in it the next day.
Yeah.
Like, that's truly the thing, and that's what we did. And there was a little outside area that said designated smoking area. So it was like Winnie could feel all right about smoking. So we just rolled some joints, smoked some joints. And
it was like suburbia. Like, there was not a convenience store. I know that's like, we live in the city, so it's very
wild.
like we have everything that we need. Like, you don't need to think about it. You
And
can just go home, and if you need something, it's literally right there.
And it's still not enough.
And
Like,
so
you know.
the closest thing was probably like a 25-minute walk, and that would have been like a convenience store or something, which is not a huge walk.
I liked it, though. I liked that side of it. I liked
being
it
too.
In the cut.
We were in the private area.
It was quiet. It was a lot quieter than the big expensive hotels.
So quiet. Yes,
Like, it
a
was
lot
like
quieter. And we just had our own space
Anyway.
to smoke and stuff. It was sick.
And I'll have those big expensive hotel experiences, and I have, and I will again. But like, it's just like I liked this for what it was. It was cozy.
Yeah. Okay. Day
2.
Done.
Well, yeah.
Day
Day
2.
1 done. Day 2, we wake up. What did we get to this day? That was when we made our beach day.
Was that Hollover Beach day?
I think
day
so.
2 was Hollover Beach.
Yeah. So we went to the nude beach.
Yeah. And again, we're walking all the way down to Hallandale
Yeah.
Beach.
So we walked from an hour in from Hollywood, Florida, to the shore, and that's Hallandale Beach. And then we walked
this was
down.
Golden Beach day.
Golden
too.
Beach Day.
He made me walk so far. So the first couple of days,
But we stopped and we got stuff. We got a hat. We got hats.
Chicken.
We got chicken wings. We got
we stopped at Ross.
Yeah, we stopped and got some cute stuff from this little corner mall. We got a Starbucks stop.
Yeah.
And then that took more time than we realized.
We weren't at the beach until 2 p.m. because
Yeah.
we're lazy, having a morning, having coffee,
Vacation
getting
morning.
high.
Yeah.
I think maybe
Yeah,
we
there's
got it
coffee.
on
Yeah.
before we left.
Yeah.
You know, things that take time.
Vacation things.
So we didn't get down to Hallandale Beach until 2 p.m. And in my head, I'm like, we're going to get there. We're going to lay our towels down.
That
And like,
sunshine.
and it's hot right now. Like, this is the hot time.
And
Between 12 and 4 kind of are the hottest times.
We're walking
there.
with chicken wings.
Yeah. And this motherfucker
I'm like, let's just keep walking for a bit.
wants to find the perfect spot, and nothing is ever good enough for him.
It didn't exist. And then by the time the area I said I want that, it was private. You couldn't sit there.
Yeah,
because
he was like, we're walking like kilometers, miles, folks, to an area that he saw so far away that wasn't populated. And I get it. Like, he doesn't know. I didn't know that there was going to be
I didn't know.
ownership of the beach area.
Who the
That's really
fuck-
kind of fucked up,
What
Hollywood.
real estate
also.
person got creative there and fucked the general public?
Yeah, so we
You
get to
disgust
this
me.
place where he wants to finally sit down, and it's private property. You're only allowed to walk along the water's edge. You cannot
Yeah.
set up your towels.
That's what they said.
It's called Golden
You,
Beach.
you should walk along the water's edge only. Don't trespass my sand.
And
Oh,
it's
fuck.
obviously enforced because no one was there. There was 3 people there through like kilometers.
You guys are not mentally well. Okay, anyway.
Yeah,
I'm just
we're not
breaking
going to
balls.
harp on that area because that's a whole other thing. Like
Maybe
that,
when I own one of them, I'll feel different and I'll understand that side.
if we own one of them, we're going to spend more time than the people who own those ones spend
I'd be
time
there.
there. It's completely ridiculous that it's not open to the public. Whatever.
Anyway.
So we have to, and so he's like, let's just fucking, we see a group of 3 people that are on, they decided to break the rules and be on the beach. And he's like, let's fucking do that. And I'm like, bro, I'm always going with you, right? But like, you gotta just sometimes be sensitive to my comforts. I'm like, I would rather be comfortable on the beach instead of like watching my back because I'm nervous because I'm doing something illegal. And it's easy to say like, hey, don't be nervous. It's easy to say that. It's another thing to like feel it. So we have to walk all the way past this private area now. So it's been already about an hour of walking with
we're
our
committed to
chicken.
the
Yeah. And it's still hot. It's so hot. So that's good. We were getting, I took off all my clothes, just my bathing suit was on. And then we finally get to Golden Beach.
Here's what I loved about this additional hour and a half, 2-hour stroll down the coast on the beach is I was on the beach and I was in the sun and I was with my wife and I was actually working out.
Yeah, because we're carrying our bags
We're
and
carrying
stuff.
our
We
Jordan
can't go back
3s.
and forth to the Airbnb. It's an hour away.
No, it's too far. So
Yeah.
you got to carry everything, and we're carrying a big bucket of chicken. And I'm just like fucking.
Waters.
I'm flexing. I'm
coffees.
fucking like, I'm good. You know, I'm like just soldiering it out. And then I realize I'm getting tired. And then I'm like, that's cool. Let's manifest somewhere to chill. I could not manifest an easier situation to walk into a beach club-esque scenario that was like a private country club that all you had to have to be there was an address, the ID to prove it, or the swaggadociousness to communicate the person watching this scenario to allow you to be there, which I had the latter. And that was fabulous. And I said, let's just go in this park that's obviously a private scenario, but it's a park.
Yeah, it looked like inviting. Like for me, I was like, okay, this could probably be a public park.
There were
it wasn't. It was a private park.
There were a lot of lovely inlets in Hollywood.
Yes.
There were a lot of, you're provided with benches. It's a leisure town. So
Yes.
it's believable that that's a thing. It didn't say that from the beach because you pull up and it is like a private park and it's like basically you're in the Bel Air of Hollywood.
It did say you on a sign after the guy came up to us because we just didn't worry about it.
We just walk right through and walk in, and there's yellow chairs. And the reason how I could feel it was probably like a neighborhood thing, like a neighborhood sponsored thing, is like the family that was there. I was like, oh, you guys.
And then there was filtered water at the concierge station.
Yeah, like they had a little beach club that felt like a public park. Mm-hmm. And they had an attendant, a lovely young man, who didn't enforce the rules as written, which bless him, because he could tell we were just kind of hanging out for a minute.
Yeah, he knew that we weren't part of this park.
People from this area don't walk in through the beach and have bucket of chickens in bags. We're from another place, but we seem chill. I'm not gonna lie, having nice sunglasses and shit can usually gain you more social trust. It kind of is a shitty fact, but it just is. People kind of trust you to be around nice shit if you have perceivably nice shit. Like, they think that you're not going to make a mess or hurt anything because you care about yourself more than someone who's going to make a mess of themselves. So, I don't know. It's like these social judgments, there's these cues that you can pay attention to, or you can choose to ignore them and pretend they don't exist. That's cool, too. But anyway, this excellent young gentleman walks up to me and says, you guys live here, right? And I'm like, yep. And then he's like, so I just need an address so I can write it down in the book. So just let me know an address for you. And I was like, excellent. I understood we're having this conversation. I swear, I closed my eyes for a second and I allowed a sequence of numbers to come to me. And I was like, 271. And he's like, yeah, 271 or two. And I was like, just this street, just right there, just right over there. Okay, we're in Golden Beach or something. It's literally called Golden Beach Drive. And I was like, just 1 second. We're staying with a friend, and he lives there. But yes, we are guests of him. And he's like, all right, I'll just be over here, man. Just let me know. And I'm like, thanks, man. And like, he goes over, and then I go on my phone. I pull up the GPS where I'm at. Thank God we turned on roaming that day.
Well, we didn't. We were trying not to. That you did. You turned it on for this, so we could stay here.
Oh, I guess I did this, so we could stay here. So I pulled up like that, zoomed into where I was at. I pulled up the drive, and I saw it was Golden Beach, and because I just said Golden Beach, meaning like this area, and like there's Golden Beach Drive right there. So it's like several things worked out. I pulled it up. Literally, there's a 281 right around the corner. And I walk back up to him, I'm like, I mixed up a number. It's 281 Golden Beach Drive. And he's like, 281 Golden Beach Drive. Cool, man. And like, just like 0 F's given. I was like,
it wasn't busy. There was a group of girls having a little party and a little family. Like, we just needed to rest our legs because we walked for so long in the beautiful hot sun.
But it was nice because they were like high-end artsy yellow chairs.
Yeah, it was nice.
Like, it was just kind of the little blessing oasis that I needed. And I said in my head, once I got tired, I'm like, I'll manifest an area, a rest time, like an opportunity for this in a classy way. So yeah, we had that wonderful alignment experience. I said, hey, it's getting late. Let's get our butts down to Hollover so we could let our butts fly free for a moment before the sun goes down.
Yeah, if you don't know, there's a nude beach in Florida called Hollover Beach.
It's beautiful.
It is gorgeous, and it was way busier than I thought it was going to be. I thought there were going to be a couple people. It was banging, man. There were so many people.
There's no buildings starting on that strip. The last building is like about half a mile up for where the nudity starts, and it's the Ritz. So you know, it's probably not that populated. Like, it's not like a discount, you know. So yeah, it's gorgeous, and it's a strip, and it's kind of white sandy, you know.
By the time we got there, it was too cold to play in the ocean.
Yeah.
But it was really nice.
I did spend some time nude though. That was nice.
Yeah.
It's so freeing, and it's so nice to get some sun on all parts of your body.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. We starve parts of our body from the benefit of surface area contact with the sun directly.
It's interesting at our nude beach too. It's interesting to meet strangers in the nude.
There was a lot
I'm trying to figure that out because I'm like, I'm here on a nude beach, and if I wasn't on a nude beach, I would obviously be more open to talking to other people. Yeah. But I like being nude. And so what's up with that? But I think it's just because, like, you don't often know the other person's intention. And because you're nude, there is, like, there's not implicitly, it's not sexual at all on the nude beach. Like, just being nude isn't sexual inherently.
But there's a vulnerability there.
But yes, nice. Yeah. So, and there's just always going to be people taking advantage of people who are nude. Like that, you can't expect that not to happen. That seems insane.
Winnie's a very
everyone takes
compassionate,
advantage of any situation.
pretty girl.
There's always, so it's really
I've been calling
like
shit out when we were on the new beach
out.
here, and some dude came over and he was like he asked for a hit of the joint, and I said, "There you go, you can have it." And he like was still like sitting there. I'm like, "There you go, you can have it." And then
There was a
like,
language barrier.
He's Indian guy, and he was just like knees down at the end of our towel, and then he was just like looking at us like, "You're a very nice couple," and I was like, "Okay, you get out of here now." And then he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." And like his buddy was like, "We gotta go," and I'm like, "Yeah, leave." Back to yours. And then he's like, "Oh, sorry."
And then I had said like we would just like to be left alone, please, like to see if that, because it was getting kind of like
no, but even in this misunderstanding, it's like, you know what this means. You know what this means.
Bizarre.
Yeah, so it's like
super interesting.
The advantages were being taken. Also, when we were on the beach in Hollover, this dude just kept giving himself a boner, walking up and down the beach and like stroking. And that was like indecent, I felt. Because then when we were leaving, he came up to us as though to start some sort of conversation, like there might be an opportunity when we gave no signals of that. And then he's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "We're leaving. Everyone's getting too excited." And I pointed to his dick, and then he like laughs, and I'm like, "We see you, man. Like, get the fuck out of here." Like, you know, like,
yeah, like
what
if
are
there
you
was
doing, dude?
Interest.
Like, not a sex club, a nude beach, a naturist, not a polygamist. Like, it's okay if you're that as well. I'm just saying that's great if you're that as well, but it's not. It shouldn't be a conjunction in the expectation of going somewhere to be free. That feels. I get aggressive when I feel like somebody's taking advantage of the vulnerability that we share by taking that space that should be safe.
Unless it's with a lady.
Well, I find myself chatting in friendly ways with men and women in brief segments at Hanlon's frequently. And it's like a fine little interaction, and there's not a feeling of trying to get somewhere.
Right.
You're like when the men who are cruising have this energy of like inquisitive like questions that they badger at you to like feel you out. It's like we got hit on by one older guy at Hanlon's, and it was like,
oh yeah, that
was
intense.
Chill the pursuit. We're not going anywhere. Like, nobody's touching anyone. No one's going anywhere. Like, that's what I feel the difference. So often women have a decent radar of what's acceptable, including spatial respect.
Yeah.
Like,
how can
not come
we
too close.
Encourage more of that?
Just fair awareness, bro. Just like, if that's something you're feeling, if you're feeling charged up right now, take a lap. Like, don't interact yet. Like, if you're too excited, if you find yourself like going too hard or getting too excited, like, you're not there yet. Like, the fact that they're in this place where they're open doesn't mean that they're there for activity. So men or women,
for
like,
sure.
it's fine either way. But
yeah,
I'm just
so
saying,
that just creates like a weird place to like
dynamic.
Dynamic to like meet new people, I think.
There's a weird pressure there, but I like the honesty. The reason why I enjoy frequency, you know, the vibe of being like unabashedly honest, like, yo, this is my body. Like, person that I don't know and I'll probably never see again. Like, I see yours, you see mine, and like, that's cool, I'm over it. Like you can have a moment about something else.
Yeah.
Like, you're not so stuck in the
It's nice to look at penises and balls and be like, oh, that's just like anything else.
Yeah, same with boobs. Like, oh, that, like, I wish I didn't feel so when I seen tits. Like, I'm at, you know, like, I have my shirt off. Like, I pray for your freedom in that way. Like, your shoulders, you can show your shoulders. Remember when women couldn't like show their shoulders or arms and stuff? Like,
And
you can show your
legs.
shoulder or legs, you know? So eventually I feel like however you want to be, you can just be. Like, you know, if you, and it won't be, it won't trigger that sort of heathenist, like, let me use you. Like,
Yeah,
because
we're learning how to
relax.
manage our primalness.
You can get there, and you want that primalness when it's time for that. You want a spark and a connection when it's time for that. But, like, yeah, I guess generally taking more time in the awareness of the approach, just period, just with relationships and you know.
I would definitely
how
say,
you
like,
vibe
if
out.
you're going to a nude beach, to find someone that might be interested
'Cause it probably
in
does
doing
exist in some of-
sexual things.
Because it probably does exist. Like, you can't say, like, they're wrong.
Yeah, let them come to you. Like, that guy, obviously, like, him and his boner, like, I wouldn't assume that he's just hanging out with a boner. I would assume that it's an invitation of sorts.
Yeah.
And if that's something that I was interested in, I would probably go up to him and inquire
Yeah.
and learn more and see if that is what is being presented.
Yeah.
But you can't go there and just, like, see naked people and go up to them and be like, bro, wanna fuck?
That's insane.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's happened a couple times at all nude beaches that we've been to, and
Yeah.
I don't dig it.
Yeah.
It makes me feel less safe
Yeah.
to be how I want to be.
It makes me feel aggressive towards you.
But I can't not do it just because I feel that way. Cause
Yeah.
I
You don't get to own that space.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers who are about the natural vibe. Anyway, so that was
Yeah,
Hallover.
Hallover. We're glad we went. We'll highly suggest if you're in Florida.
Put on our clothes, walked back up the beach a bit, hopped in an Uber.
Back to
No, we walked a long way. Remember when we found the little cabana blazed out on the beach? Then that, like, security guard came out, but we hung out there for a good amount of time.
Oh yeah.
And you made me throw out the chicken wings.
we walked back
we
on
walked
the
all the fucking
beach.
way back up.
It was such a beautiful night walk.
That was an incredible night walk. We actually have pictures of it. I'll put it here. Oh, and I did those affirmations.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post those on our reels. Hello.
Oh, nice. That was so nice. I loved that night walk.
Oh, is that when we wanted IHOP?
Yeah, that we got IHOP that night, right?
Nope, we went to IHOP, but we
got
got
Denny's.
Denny's. We got a story for you, motherfuckers.
All right.
We're gonna
so
love this.
Beautiful night walk. Nice, fun times.
We walked until we had enough, and my bae says she wanted pancakes from IHOP, so that's what she was gonna get. Hopped
Yeah.
on Uber. Boom. There's one. It's towards our place.
Yeah.
Got that Uber. Got dropped off right in front of that International House. And then
And we
walk
walked in, and this stank face waitress is having a bad night,
This
folks.
little girl with her AirPods in, and she has 2 tables, and one of them is teenage boys, and it looks like they have birthday balloons. And I just feel so sad for them because this place had like a single mom alcoholic, I'm gonna beat my kids type vibe to it. And then she was like sulking out with these people. As soon as we walked in, she looked over like,
She was okay, first of all, she was taking an order. It was obviously understaffed, but, like, she only had 3 tables. I've been a server. Those who've been a server know, okay? So she's taking this table's order. We walk in. She looks at us and says something along the lines of, like, don't move. I'll be there shortly.
she's like, stay there. or something.
Yeah, like, not like, oh, hey, welcome. I'll be right with you. Like, fucking...
Angrily.
I'm so mad that you're here, and this is my timing. Your timing could not be worse. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh fuck. So it was already not good vibes, but I'm like, I have compassion for a server, and sometimes I think I can help turn it around.
And then I'm like, okay, it's completely open. I'm going to play under this little, like, evil, angry person's game for a very short period of time before I determine if I will stay here or not. So.
And then she finishes up with them. She tells us to sit in a booth and she throws menus on the table. And he's still like pretty holding it down pretty cool. He grabs the menus, starts walking over to the booth that he'd like to sit at and goes, "Is it cool if we sit over here?" And she goes, "I put you there for a reason." And he's had enough.
I maintain eye contact with her, walk towards her, hold the menus up high, drop them on a table and say, "I don't like your attitude." And I walked out immediately. And everyone else in the restaurant was just like, fuck, okay, I thought it was me. Like,
yeah.
you know?
I slowly walked. I was like, okay, we're going to go somewhere else, you know, like, and she said something along the lines of like,
I was going to give you.
Yeah, she started backtracking. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, you could tell that she was like, oh fuck.
I was just like, and I didn't say anything rude. I used no derogatory comments. As a customer, I don't like your attitude. And I dropped the menus back on the table and left.
Yeah, and
that was perfect. Yeah. And I just left and I said, the number one thing right now is not to gloat on this, is just to move forward and solve the issue of enjoying some pancakes with my bae. What's right across the street? Denny's! Motherfucking my guy at Denny's. He's chilling.
The best.
He's the best. He's the most friendly.
Yeah.
He says all the most tremendous things you want to hear, just like, welcome, sit anywhere you'd like to sit. What? I'll grab you some water to start.
It was so much easier.
It was fun. I filled the table up with food. I just built a bunch of like sides of everything. And he was so chill. He brought the teas out.
Yeah, he was like, we have orange tea for herbal tea, and I was like, do you mean orange
pico, like black tea?
And he's like, nah,
orange. And I'm like, okay. And
he's like, let me just get it. And it literally was just orange tea.
Yeah.
Which was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was fantastic. I had pancakes. They were delicious.
Denny's has way better food than IHOP, way better servers. That's just the tale that we learned. That's what we went to Hollywood to learn. Denny's is actually where you go because Denny's is fire.
Yeah. And if you're like me and you sit through discomfort like unnecessarily because you're trying to like be patient and kind, like I'm here to tell you that you don't have to do that. Like, you can have a better experience.
Go to Denny's instead.
Yeah.
That's our internal company culture now.
Yeah. Go to Denny's.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then we walked home, I think, or we got an Uber home. I can't remember.
We walked because we stopped at that gas station, and we got plantains, and that girl was like, y'all from Canada? Like,
oh, yeah.
There was
we
a
got
drunk guy.
Snacks.
Yeah.
Is that the night we also got the grinder? No.
It was.
It was.
We found another spot after Denny's. We walked to this smoke shop, and we met this awesome guy who was there.
Yeah, he loved weed.
He loved weed. He was a passionate guy. Anyway, shout out, homie. And we got some THCA flower.
Gelato, I think.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. It was whatever was in there.
Oh.
We got gelato from the other shop another time. But
yeah.
Remember that stuff? It was just, he didn't know what it was. But it did kind of smell and look like a gelato, but it had that dankness to it. But it felt like there were crystals sprinkled on a weaker hemp flower plant.
They're doing something
it was
to it.
Like there was something to it. I want to clarify what it is. No one seems to be able to give me a straight answer. I smoked it. I liked it. It wasn't like normal weed, but it was close.
They were like, they've identified the THCA molecule, and somehow maybe it's like a growth hormone. They can create an abundance of that. So there's a high amount of that within the hemp flower that we're smoking, and that's what gets you high. And I don't know. I'm not sure. It looked a lot like weed, and it smelled a lot like weed, but there was something different about it.
It wasn't like different like in a weird way, like salvia or anything. It didn't make you go anywhere different. It kept you in the weed zone, but it wasn't a psychoactive in a pure way or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't. We smoked real weed the next day.
And we were like,
when our friend Fabe got us some medical stuff.
Oh yeah, so
and
that's
I was
the
like,
next
oh
day.
fuck, this is what weed
This
does
is
to
weed
you.
weed.
So
Yeah.
I prefer weed over THCA
Yeah.
as of right now.
Weed is like wetter.
It does
more
something.
colorful.
Yeah.
Like more slippy slidey, more tasty, more unctuous, more hitty.
Love
more
all
sharp,
of that.
you know?
Agree, 100%.
You know, it's like you turn up the saturation with weed.
Yeah. The other one is more like a
CBD dominant kind of thing.
right on.
Yeah, which hey, that's cool too. But okay, yeah. So we got home, we watched whatever. We had plantains. We fell asleep. We wake up. My brethren Fabe Luciano, my Puerto Rican freestyle bro from Time Online. Man, we met in the Periscope days. We were the guys killing it on the freestyle streaming scene, and we just bigged each other up. And that's how we just kind of started this brotherhood of positivity. He scooped us with his lovely girl, Rachel, who's a musician and singer as well. And
Well, they came over for a sesh, which was fun.
and he hooked me up because he got the license.
Oh, and everyone, I have to tell you about the Caminos that they have over there. So they gave us a little bit of a menu because I wanted some gummies. It's just, I wanted to get kind of ripped, you know, instead of just like sneaking my smoke every now and again. And
Unnecessary.
Unnecessary, I know. Blah, 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 blah. Wanted gummies. He got me gummies. The Caminos, we have Caminos here. I think they're still on market. I actually haven't seen them in a while, but we had them here. They were so delicious. It came in a cute little tin. There was 100 milligrams of THC in my tin. There was 20 gummies at 5 milligrams each. And it was such a fantastic experience. I opened it up. You want to share it with people. This is how I feel like we haven't been we got those little gems and stuff, but I don't know, it was fun. I was like, gummy? Like, it was a fun experience. You can't do that with the packs that we buy here because there's only 2. You need to eat them both.
we got the best weed from the dispensary. I ordered all the top tiers and had these things, and all day it just kept us going. I got a red velvet cheesecake.
So good.
Yeah, by Kind with a Y. And
That's San Fernando, though.
Okay,
that was the
just
highlight.
Never doubt the classic earthy strains. The San Fernando Valley was a last minute, because I know it's good, let me throw it on. This was the high I needed to have. This was like so good. I also got some wax.
Oh, yeah. It was called Cool Whip.
Cool Whip number 11.
I loved it.
And it was the wax of that. And like we were just getting fucking
nice.
proper.
Toasty.
We were getting, there's no better than this.
So we were sitting in the sun. We hadn't hung out with people for a couple of days, so it was really nice to have some social time.
Yeah.
We're smoking in the morning. It was like around noon, I think.
We made him coffee. You
Yeah.
made him coffee. Me and Fabe started freestyling immediately.
And didn't stop for the rest of my life. Oh, man. And Rachel, I don't think Fabe's beautiful love, Rachel didn't realize the extent of the freestyling. And I do, because I've seen him freestyle for 8 hours on the street nonstop.
Yeah.
So I was into it too, because they're both really crazy freestyles. Actually, it was pretty sick.
It was good for the spirit.
But every now and again, you want to have a conversation, you know, instead of watch 2 people freestyle.
Fabe gets in the car, puts the beats on, cranks the volume. You 11 in the back.
Yeah.
And then we just are bussing the whole fucking time. And it's like a show for these 2 girls trapped in a car. We're rushing. Okay, so we hung out. We hung out. And then we went to the beach.
So they could film a little freestyle.
On the beach. And then Ray says, you want to come to my rehearsal?
That's an hour away from where we are.
And we're already late.
And we're like, oh, well, you're not going to drive us back. And they're like, yeah, we are.
will.
And we're like, oh,
what?
my God, really?
I couldn't
Thank
pass up
you.
such a kind offer. And of course,
And a jam.
And a jam. And I'd love to tap into the music scene. And Fabe's my guy, and it's great to see him, and I'm with Win, and we ain't got no plans. And
Yeah, it was so cool to not have an agenda.
It was so magical.
It was
and
so cool to go with the flow.
The magic started, I think, then when we decided to go on that adventure. And then what the night had in store for us when we got to Lake Worth after freestyling in the car for the hour. And
it's like cottage country, but beach, not lake.
And then just like put some Latin on it.
Yeah, huge Cuban community in Lake Worth.
Beautiful. And
so
then,
fun.
And then shout out Gwen, the owner and operator of the studio that Ray had her rehearsal at. It was such a beautiful, cool space.
It was.
Fabe
could smoke in there.
Yeah, we're smoking weed.
That's so nice.
Wonderful host, very cool space, beautiful vibes. They're rehearsing some songs, Ray's with her band, and Fabe turns to me and goes, I'm thinking about doing these mushrooms I have. And I'm like, fuck yeah, do them. And he's like, yeah, you want to do some? And I was like, sure. And then he pulls out a bag. And then and then I'm like, Win, you want to microdose some shrooms? And she's like, okay. And then I grabbed like one. There were some beautiful like stems, and
they were beautiful shrooms. They were
shrooms.
Golden Teachers too. Thank goodness.
Yeah, and we pulled them out. We pulled out one stem to share. Figured that was a microdose. It was probably half a gram looking back. And then, we're just in this cool ass. We were smoking weed. We're chilling with creative people. There was live music being played. There was cool lights on. There was like a projector show.
Yeah, it was such a good vibe.
It's warm. It's nighttime. We're comfortable. We're high. I ate too much beef jerky.
Oh, yeah.
In the car. I got this really good
pre-mushrooms.
Pre-mushrooms. And then I remember, though, I still ate beef jerky on mushrooms. And I was like kind of shocked that I could do that. But I was like, but it's so good.
Your belly just takes over.
Yeah, my mind. Anyway, so we're on shrooms. Go from there, Win. This is where the night gets hilarious and so cute. So basically her rehearsal closes and we're coming up on shrooms.
Yeah.
And her guitarist is leaving.
Halfway through the shroom trip, we're starting to feel it. We leave the rehearsal so they can
we let them
because I was
practice.
definitely like an audience member. It was really cool. Thank you for having us.
They did really cool stuff. Like Ray did a cover of a Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah, that was so cool.
I love the way they did that. That was so cool. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Liz.
Liz, we got
multi-musician.
I put it on our Instagram, but like she held down this guitar lick and I freestyled to it, and we basically wrote a song. Like I want to do something with that song. Yeah. So shout out Liz.
But yeah, that song's good.
Yeah, and so we did. That's right. And
then
before they wrapped, I was high on shrooms. I just bust out in this brand new part of town I'd never seen before. I don't even know where we're at, Lake Worth.
Which is highly stimulating already if you're not on shrooms.
And then I'm like, cool, let's do this. And I have my bag and I have my money in my bag and that's it. And I'm like, let's go. And then Wynn's like, I don't have anything. I'm like, so fine, let's go. And then we just walked into this beautiful. You want to take it from here?
It's a restaurant kitchen. It's like a mother-daughter owned, it seems. There was a young girl working.
It was a house.
13.
It was a kitchen, in a house in the first floor that they turned into a storefront.
Yes.
And it was the most soulful thing ever. It was beautiful.
They're making everything on site.
She's slicing mangoes fresh to put into the smoothie. And it was so good and just well priced.
I had a chocolate-covered frozen banana.
I've never heard of that before.
Neither, but then we saw it more, so it must be a thing in Florida at least.
Genius. What a genius thing to do.
Yes.
What a genius. It's the original dip cone. And then so we have our smoothies and then we walk back to the studio.
And then I'm starting to peak.
You're getting,
we're getting quite high. I'm getting more high than I expected.
Yeah. And then we're back in, and they're finishing up.
They wrapped.
They wrapped, yeah.
One of their band members didn't make it, and they were like, okay, well, we've done everything we can without this person, so.
So then we get in convos, and Fabe is also feeling shrooms, too.
Yes.
Because we all took them around the same time. So we go back, and he's saying all sorts of lovely, wonderful things.
He's such a wonderful
Shout out my guy, Fabe, man. Love that guy. I hope he comes up for Can Expo and vibes out.
Yeah, me That'd be sick.
Yeah. So he's just saying wonderful things. It's triggering this beautiful, friendship, love. When he's sharing,
He's talking about like looking at like our relationship and stuff, and just like the communication between us, and like recognizing the deep respect we have for one another, and like we worked at that, like that, and so to have that reflected by someone so purely, it really hit me, and I started shrooms
you made
crying.
her cry, bro. And then the guitarist is leaving.
Yeah, he's like, nice to meet you guys.
And he's shaking hands, and then he didn't see her because her back. It was like he was coming here, and me and Fabe were sitting there, and she was turned talking to us. And then he's like coming this way, and he's like, "See you guys, nice to meet you, nice to meet you." And he's like, goes to shake your hand,
and I'm like, "I'm shrooms crying." That's what I say, and he goes, "Oh."
Like,
good night.
All right.
And I was like, see you, man. But I just couldn't fake it at that point. I was feeling so much, and it was lovely.
When you were honest in that moment,
partied that night.
When you were honest in that moment, I really loved that for you. I really loved that for you.
Me too. It meant beautiful. A lot. There was some Hollis going on for me in that moment, where I just had like deep appreciation for my lovely friend Scott and his wife Hollis, who's now passed, and their love really impacted me, and it showed me a type of love that I don't know if I had seen before, and a type of partnership that really somehow clicked for me. It made sense for me. It was a type of support that I hadn't seen before, which is so good. Oh my God.
Thank you.
And now I've been working on that for, 5, 6, 7 years. A lot has happened. Esther Perel, also shout out in terms of relationship people. Good one to listen to. And I was listening to Fabe be like, wow, like, look at how beautiful your love is. And I was like, my friend who's not with us anymore definitely inspired this. And that was really like an impactful moment for me.
She's very alive in the nature of what you exist as today.
Amen. Yeah, that wasn't the right way to say that.
No, exactly. No, but that's true. She's definitely with you in that moment all the time. But you just mean on an earthly plane, just to clarify for people watching.
Yeah.
Wow. So we're here. Then everybody wraps, and us and Gwen pack into Rachel's car, and we go to the Lake Worth Strip, and it is fucking the place to be.
It's the vibe.
That's what I thought Hollywood was going to be like. But that's where the culture is at, is the vibes, is the little bars and the people hanging out. Lilo's, son. We went to the fucking best tacos there are. I don't know more better tacos than that. That was
they were
fucking
good.
Insane. I got these Korean beef bibimbap or something like that.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that, but
it wasn't that, something like that. I would mix up the name, but and it was served on cucumber, thin sliced long cucumber, in the taco, and then sesame seeds on it. Amazing. I had a duck taco as well. It was like a shredded confit.
Yeah, I had that one. It's delicious.
Was that the Peking duck, I believe? Yeah. It was the red duck. Wow, that was incredible. And then I had the shrimp, and it had like a cilantro paste aioli on it, and it was 3 nice big jumbo prawns. It wasn't like the small shrimp. It was like 3 bites of proper prawns. What else did you have?
I had the heart of palm, the veggie taco. That one was actually the standout one for me.
Really?
Like if I were to go back there, I'd just get 3 of those. And so it was a vibe. We're sitting smoking. The windows are open.
Smoking the
windows.
You
can see that in the reflection, I bet, up the
window. No, you can't see it. Continue. I flashed her behind cam.
Love you.
I roll this joint for us.
Thank you. This is turning it into such a long podcast.
Yeah, but we're here to fucking party.
We're vibing. It feels like Spain to me. Like when I think of my memories as a young child in Spain, and my parents going out with my grandparents, which was my mom's parents, and like partying. And I remember looking up, like that's what I was living. I was living that life.
There were lights
in Lake Worth. Yeah, it was so great, and the food was so good, and we were all so hungry. And when you're so hungry, food tastes so good, and you're grateful for it.
And you're with new friends at a table.
And our waitress was phenomenal,
She's
and
awesome.
she looked so good, like. Just to paint a picture,
perfect.
like tight black curls, and it's like pinned back with like cute little things, and then she has like a fanny pack, like a sparkly fanny pack, and her face is so cute. She's young. She's like in her like early 20s. I just like, and she was so peppy.
She was good at her job.
She's great at her job.
Yeah, respect.
She's a fantastic waitress.
Lilo's.
And then after that, I was like, sick. They're gonna drive us home now. This has been the best night ever.
Yes.
And then we went to another spot, and I was like, we're partying tonight.
We learned about cava. There's cava bars.
Yes.
Yeah, and we didn't partake, but they're there, and that's cool. And then after that, yeah. We went to another studio, which I admit was pushing it for me, because
we're in our mid-30s.
Okay, but you know what? When you're there, you gotta go.
Yeah, I'm glad we met
Eric.
Met Eric and Gina.
And so we know of this cool studio space, and we were freestyling. I posted a bit of it on Discipline Stoners Live. It's just, it's late. It was late. We went until we were done.
Yeah.
Like conked out. I like to be kinder to myself than that most times, when you can kind of, fine tune the circumstance to yourself. But then there's part of just like being on a traveling trip and kind of like going with the flow that I felt like was appropriate to allow that to kind of go on for one night.
Yeah, totally.
And it was the perfect, loving, familiar circumstance to let that manifest in. Like, being at studios is like home-ish for me, So
it was cool. Everyone was creating too.
It was beautiful.
Like, yeah, it was really, really nice.
Yeah. But then so we got driven, and and then on the ride home we went to Checkers.
Yeah.
Got a Checkers burger. That was really fun.
They didn't have any ice cream for me, which is very disappointing. But.
Yeah, what the fuck, Checkers. Anyway.
And they also, we ordered a large fries, and it was not large.
Yeah.
And their fries are banging.
Yeah,
you want large.
I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, she charged us for the upgrade, and then we didn't actually get the large fries. So you fucking owe us, Checkers. I'm coming for my fries. You think I'm not fucking pulling up with that receipt next time I'm there?
So think about this. We've done so much in the 3 days that we've been there.
So they drop us off. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
We go to sleep immediately because our face hurts.
Yeah. And then we naturally wake up at 9. That just seemed to be our like natural wake up.
Gifted. Sun is shining. Here again, middle of the week.
Yeah. And I'm like, I need more beach. We got beach at Hollover, but we didn't get hot beach at Hollover. We didn't get
sit and cake,
Yeah.
Sit and bake.
Yeah, so we're kind of picking up the pace here, and we decide to walk. Every day we decided to walk. And this time, this is when we found the empanadas.
Oh my gosh, we took
at
a different
Senior
route.
Cafe.
We took a route to the beach that we were like, hey, let's get up. We got the towels and shit. No stopping. Let's go. So we walked this way to go straight to the beach, like not through any neighborhoods. And then we were like, we're kind of hungry though. Let's grab a cap on the way, or kind of whatever. Let's grab a cap like on the way. And then so we got this like Colombian coffee cappuccino type thing. And then in the windows there was just beautiful empanadas, and like I try and get empanadas everywhere I go, but like these looked special, like fried. And I was like, I'm gonna try one of those. And I'm like, you want one? She's like, yeah. I'm like, so we got some. And we were like, what the fuck? These are the best.
Mind-blowing.
That's insane. Like, illegally good. Like, so fucking good. I don't even understand. That was so good, those empanadas. And the coffee was perfect. We walked to the beach.
Yeah. And Ellevan was doing his fucking spot thing again. And this was another hiccup time. There was construction on the beach towards where we were walking. We had to get around the construction. I was like, it is now 2:00, because we've been walking, and like, I need some fucking lie down, read my book, beach time. Yeah. So there's a little bit of turbulence there. We got on the other side of the construction, got to a place, created a weed bag. So we smoked. It was a little bit windy, but we smoked on the beach inside of my backpack.
A hot box backpack.
It's a hot box backpack.
Which I'm gonna create a piece of merch for Disciplined Stoners. That's a functional backpack that you can hot box, because that's an issue.
And we played in the ocean.
I don't like it when the wind smokes weed.
We got in the water.
We did.
But it wasn't warm enough, but we decided to do it.
We did it because we're troopers.
Yeah, and it was awesome. I'm so glad that we got in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I read my book. You went for a run along the water. It was just nice. It was really what I was hoping at least one day was. Yeah. And then what did we do that night? Oh, is that we found the music that night.
Oh my God. So we kept walking up the boardwalk. Bumped into our buddy, the acid guy from OPP, with his dad. And his dad and my dad have the same name, Joe. Shout out, homie. And then we kept walking, and Margaritaville bought the, city stage at the beach center, basically. And this fucking phenomenal cover band, this rock band called Sippin' Fire, crushed it for 2 hours.
7 to 9.
And they crushed it!
Yeah. And we just happened to be walking by at 6:30, and we were like, oh, let's sit down. And
everyone
the show started
came.
at 7.
We were there a half hour early, fluked out, where everyone was just sitting down, getting their seats. And we were like, what the fuck is this? This must be a commodity. Let's plop down and peep what's going on. Live music, 7 to 9. Oh, fuck it. Let's chill for a while. I'm like, you want an ice cream?
I did.
OMG.
We got the craziest sundaes.
Yo, Valentine's Day was last week, over and over and over and over and over again for a week. Nah, it was so special. I got these, I just, whatever was the menu available, I'm like, the biggest and best one. So it was this Sunday. It was a 2-scoop twist sundae, and you could add toppings, and I just added Reese's and Oreos.
How much was that?
They were still only $8 each.
Okay, that makes sense. That seemed like a $10 at least, $12 ice cream.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, exactly, USD, so for us it was. Yeah. But oh man, worth it? Hello.
Even up to 15, I didn't finish mine.
No.
And I never not finish ice cream.
I finished mine. Fuck. I got ginger. I just had a little ginger. That's what I gotta have.
So we got
now.
this crazy musical concert experience with the most delicious ice cream we've ever tasted.
Just watching this show.
And they were great. The band was awesome. They were actually so talented.
At one point, Wim was like, do you want to keep walking? And then we considered leaving, and they were like, no, I'd miss it. This is great.
Yeah, why not
This is the place to be. So we just watched this whole show.
They did Bohemian Rhapsody perfectly.
They did so good.
It was crazy.
It was great to see.
So then, yeah, we had that, and I guess that brings us. We got so much in.
And then we walked even down the boardwalk again for a bit after that. Smoked some weed.
Did we get pizza after the show or before the show?
Oh my God, I think that. Was it the next day?
No, I think the next day we leave.
No.
No?
No.
What happens the next day?
What day is this that we're just finishing now?
I think it's Friday.
What day was Fabe Day? Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday.
Because we didn't get in until Tuesday. We're supposed to get in on Monday.
This was Friday.
Yeah.
Or beach day and that. And then what was Saturday?
We shot the video and brought our bags down.
Oh, we did. We checked out. What the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So we were only there for 5 days.
Yeah.
Wow. But then we left late Saturday. So we went back to the beach.
We got all of Tuesday and all of Saturday, and those were our travel days. And then we had 3 main days in between. But it feels like we were there for a week. We got so much in. We did so much walking. It was such a magical adventure. And we found the most delicious pizza also on Hollywood
It's the best pizza in the world. It's the best pizza I've ever tried. It's absolutely the best pizza. It's fucking insane.
And then we didn't get any more food that night, actually. And we were going to go Uber again.
So when we were done that, I guess we had that really great pizza. And we got one slice just to like tide us over. Went back in and got another slice because so good. And then tried to walk up and tried to find something to eat. And then there was nothing on the boardwalk. And then I said, why don't we try to walk towards Hollywood downtown? We were doing the same mistake we did on the first day. We were overwalking while hungry at night. Dumb. Anyway, dumb. And then we walked until I said, let's just grab an Uber. We grabbed an Uber home. And my phone was on low battery. I still managed to put in an Uber Eats order on my Uber app. Motherfucking stupid Chinese food place could not fulfill the order, and it was very frustrating. By the time we got home, we were tired. I was frustrated. We Ubered home, and then it kept extending.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was an hour late. Like, at least just cancel it early so we can order something else. You fucking ass.
You were so tired.
I was hungry too
that night.
And we ordered all the dope stuff that I would have wanted to eat in, like no holds barred, just go for it, you know.
He had fallen asleep even as
and then still woken up. And
and I was like, I don't think it's coming. And you're like, what?
I still want Chinese food, but like fuck that place. Anyway, we fell asleep. And then like I even fell asleep that night. Yeah, and then we got up the next day.
I think earlier this time because we had a 11 a.m. checkout,
which I didn't think was gonna like really be on time, but they sent a cleaner at 11 a.m.
At 10:59 actually, and she was just opening the door, like she didn't even knock.
Like, they'll be gone.
Are you sure? I think it may have been a 10 a.m.
No, it said 11.
Okay. Well, it was 10:59, and we needed 10 more minutes. I for sure thought they were going to give us till 11:30, but this is how it rolls with B&B. It's not like a hotel like that. There's times.
Yo, chill the fuck out, Airbnb hosts. Give your people more time. Seriously, that's tacky.
So,
we
got up
it's
early. We had coffee. It was hot out. We smoked. We took our one last little sad shower.
It was a shitty shower.
I think that we just had so much fun. I think the point of this trip is that like there was some definitely like emotional ebbs and flows, and we maintained the adventure.
I will say though about the cleaner, I said, "Oh, we're still just wrapping up." She's like, "Okay." She just went and waited in her thing, and like on Airbnb, there was no charge. They also gave, as I said, that first, so they were cool overall. Like they were good, you know.
Yeah, they were good.
And she was chill, and then
we gave them a good review.
Yeah, and we hung out outside for a minute while she cleaned. Like it was cool. It was all right. Overall, it's like take on the balance of kind of anxiety it takes to get a trip like this going and just make decisions and like walk through that uncertainty sometimes. It's really fun on the other end. It's really great once you get there.
Oh, it was magical.
A couple times I just looked at you and I'm like, we're in Florida right now.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. Like, just to do it for the sake of it. That pizza was
adventure.
Amazing. What was the name? Filippo's?
Yeah. Filippo's. Yeah, I have a picture of it.
Yeah.
We'll tag them.
And Senor Cafe.
This has been probably because we had half an hour earlier.
I know, a very long episode, but you're welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm thanking my
lucky stars
past self in the future right now. So I know my future me is going to be like, thanks for putting this in an episode, and I'm going to relive it, and I don't care if you like this episode or not.
Which I'm sure you did the most because, basically I'm also just documenting that for me. I wanted to do this today so it was fresh.
Yeah, it's a good call.
So we hit the ground running since we've been back, too.
Fuck, I know.
We got back Sunday morning, like Saturday night, Sunday morning, Then our sweet friend Red Eyed Raven put us as a special guest for her event 50 Shades of Green at On the Danforth, which is a really great dope consumption lounge in Toronto.
Really? It was our first time there. We're so lucky.
So excellent. Had some great dabs there, great times
They
there.
do like things Friday, Saturday nights. Like you
Comedy.
can just go.
You can just go. Yeah. So check them out. We met Chef 420J or something. He is awesome.
Delicious Big Mac egg rolls.
Yeah. And after that, when we got back, what did we do?
The photo shoot.
Oh, yeah. We did the Can Expo photo shoot. Okay. I put this thing together while we were away, too.
I know. Good job.
Low key.
It was such a success. Do you have more? Because you sent me one of us that's real cute.
Oh, Paul, our photographer, Paula Hansi, who shot our intros to this and Smoke-a-thon.
Who's been on the show twice.
Been on the show twice. He did the photography for the Can Expo, like posters and just digital assets and stuff like that. Like we needed and I wanted the real culture of 420 friends that I have and co-creators and stuff, as well as a couple brand partners and people. I wanted just to reflect. They kind of put us in creative charge. I just made as many calls as I could, invited as many people as I could, and who turned out, and it turned up real well. I think it's a good representation of what the 420 community looks like, to be honest. So yeah, we're just trying to keep it real and authentic. I'm super excited about Can Expo, man. That's going to be super fun. March 22nd. Fabe wants to come up for it.
I know, he should.
Yeah.
Come.
So we got people from across the country. Also, we're going to be performing at Blunts and Beans seasonal sesh in April.
April 27th.
And Winnie's birthday is?
April 29th.
And Winnie's family is in?
Alberta.
And Winnie grew up in?
Alberta.
And we're going to be going to?
Alberta.
During Winnie's birthday, which is?
April 29th.
But the show is on?
April 27th.
And that's awesome because that's a consumption lounge in Edmonton. So we're going to be smoking weed, hanging out with Alberta peeps.
Yeah, any Alberta friends out there, please come. Let's have such a good time. I'll be recovered from the Can Expo in March. Just gonna do one thing a month.
That's my plan. I'm just gonna coast and then just.
No, I don't care. You can book me all if you want. I'll do all the things.
All the things. Yeah.
Thanks.
Wow. So that was us unloading our trip on you and letting you know how things have been.
The flight back was great too. We got
really.
We almost forgot.
We got blessed.
So we didn't check in early enough.
I love you, WestJet.
So we couldn't sit together. All of the double seats were taken.
Love you, Joyce.
But there were 2 aisle seats, 5 rows apart. Aisle seats, 5 rows apart. So we thought that's good news.
Yeah, just
so we didn't try to fix it or get any, ask anything. We just got on the plane and we passed. Her name was Joyce?
Joyce. We
passed Joyce, the flight attendant.
That's what I remember.
And I dropped you off at row 23, and we gave each other a little kiss, and I said, "Have a good flight." And then I kept walking, and Joyce was like, "You're not sitting together?" And we were like, "Oh no!" And she was like, "We'll change that." And it was effortless. And we had to get up in the air, and she asked my people beside me if they were traveling together. They were. So were yours.
I already actually had the discussion when this sweet married couple sat beside me. I was like, because she used his name, she said like, "Oh, and who's here, Gary?" And then when he showed up, I'm like, "Are you Gary?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Are you alone?" And he's like, "This is my wife." I'm like, all right, that's cool. If you weren't together, and I told him the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. That's a nice little fun thing that you did. So then she's like, I'm gonna figure it out. She gets us up in the air.
And we weren't even bothering her.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like, thank you so much if that's the case, but also it's no big deal, right? It's a night flight. We're probably gonna sleep part of the way, whatever. And she was just so fantastic. She comes back and she's like, she grabs my arm and she's like, is this rolling again?
Yeah.
She grabs my arm. She's like, because it's your anniversary, the whoever makes these decisions, said I could move you up to the exit aisle, bitch.
The
There's a
biggest,
whole
most
exit.
luxurious.
It's just the two of us up there. The most legroom I've had on a flight in ever,
It
probably.
felt like a limousine.
And we got to hang out with each other for the whole flight.
And there was
only
no
2.5
one in
hours.
between us. It was like 3 seats. I like laid on her for a bit. It was such a beautiful blessing. It was such a reflection of being in alignment. Bless you, Joyce. Thank you so much. She's so kind to us. Thank you, WestJet. I love that. It was such a beautiful, effortless upgrade. And even the couple who I'd started chatting with, her like, that's amazing. Like, and at one point we thought, like, because the plane took off and she hadn't moved us yet. And we thought, you know, and it's like, it's all good. Like, you know, we were just so easy with it. And the, like, biggest, most beautiful blessing just came through. And it was, like, so enjoyable and so lovely. So, so appreciate all the participants in that and much gratitude. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was
Overall,
quite the way to return.
it was like, I feel such a sense of, even though we hit the ground running, like such a sense of renewal. Oh, thank goodness. Everyone needs to get out of the winter. Except Floridians. Those fuckers are like, I don't go to the beach in the wintertime because I don't want to deal with the wind.
You don't have wintertime.
Yeah.
You don't know wintertime.
It's 24 degrees.
You mean slightly less gorgeous than it usually is? But it's still gorgeous?
It's crazy. The first night, we got an Uber the night that we did too much, and we ended up getting an Uber home. Buddy turns around. Eleven's in a tank top. He's like, what are you wearing? Like, aren't you cold? Remember that?
Yeah, I was just wearing my
it was cold,
t-shirt.
but like it wasn't the most horrible thing you've ever experienced. You've experienced today outside.
Yeah, barely.
Okay.
But yeah.
It was magical. Believe in your dreams.
Believe in your dreams.
Believe that things can be good. Believe that when things are seemingly going bad, that maybe there's other works happening
Go with the
beyond
flizzle.
your knowledge that you can trust in. Believe that people are good. Love each other.
And give in to your desires, you know? Follow what feels good.
Treat yourself well.
Meditate.
Seriously, meditate.
Seriously. No,
Like,
for
what
real.
are we doing here?
Right now, meditate with us.
Meditate. Okay.
Nam yang o renge kyo, nam yang o renge kyo, nam yang o renge kyo, nam yang o renge kyo.
Trippy.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Discipline Stoners. Appreciate you. Do subscribe, tell a friend, turn on your notifications. New episode every Friday at 7. Thanks.
And more than all of that, just meditate. If you don't subscribe, if you don't tell any friends, just meditate. Thank you.
Also, shout out Leanne for these beautiful bracelets.
I wish I was wearing mine.
You were earlier.
Oh,
It's okay. You'll wear them again. Love these.
they're so pretty. Thank you. Okay.
Love, guys. See you soon.
See you sometime soon.
I'll see you sometime.
I'm ripped.
You ever see something so true that you couldn't unsee it? Something that you just knew would serve you. Whether it be self-awareness, plant medicine, a lover, a career. That's what we get down to here. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners, the gateway drug to mindfulness. Spark up or don't, and enjoy the show. Glad you're here.